Right on time, my guy.
What's up, man? You gotta be on
What's up,
time. If you
Tio?
ain't on time, you're late.
That's facts. It's good to see you, legend.
Hey, likewise, bro.
You been well?
Yeah. The last time we saw each other, last year sometime in New York, in your office.
You got a Chattanooga hoodie on, huh?
That's why I went to school.
I know, bro. I don't know if you remember this or knew this, but I have an office in Chattanooga for my company. Yep.
What?
Like 8 years ago, I had a book that came out, and these businessmen reached out to me and said, "We want you in Chattanooga," and they bought a ton of books. And I was like, "I'm going," and so I went down there, fell in love with the Renaissance that was going on there, and literally opened an office down there because I wanted to have offices in different places, and that's what's up. And did Buster Screen go there too?
Who was that?
Buster Screen, the corner from the Jets and Bears. I think you might have went to Chattanooga
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Anyway.
it's been a few guys since I got drafted there. That is obviously going on and played in the league there, bro. We should do something in Chattanooga, bro. That's a must. We have to do something in Chattanooga, bro.
I will hit you up after this. Like, obviously, when the world goes back to normal, that's 100%.
Yeah, though. I had no idea.
So real quick, before we go into, I'm so excited that you're in the wine game. You can't imagine. When I saw that email come through, I was like, let's get going. But
Okay.
Before that, how are you? How you doing through all this? Where's your mindset? Talk to me.
I'm good, bro. My mindset is good. Everything is kind of going according to plan. Despite the pandemic pretty much slowing everything down. But as you said, alluded to, obviously when we get back to normal, obviously the world will be kind of back at ease, and hopefully within the next 6 to 8 months, we're not going to be back to total normal, but I think 2022 we will be. But other than that, man, I'm just working on a few projects. Obviously the wine is one of them. We'll get to that, as you said. But yeah, I'm working on a clothing line. It's called Prototype 81. It's kind of athleisure, hoodies, joggers, crop tops, leggings. It's unisex for women. And yeah, just trying to find some other little.
Let me ask you this, because I'm very fascinated by this. Does entrepreneurship give you some of the juices that you got playing ball?
Yeah, or it could be the other way around. Playing ball gave me the juice to be an entrepreneur.
Well, that I understand, because with the platform, right. People crazy in the comments. People love themselves some TO, but like I've always thought that business, the competition of business, like I was always fascinated. I'm always fascinated. There's some athletes that feel it's incredibly similar. They get those juices. Others, not as much. I think everyone, of course, in life is always a little different. Was just curious for you, like you had a very lengthy career. And I always, when I look at lengthy careers, I always associate with that because I love doing what I do. And for me, like growing up, like a lot of us, we wish we could have been like you. But then when I got older, I was like, damn, man, imagine loving something and it's your life's calling, but because of the nature of it, you can't do it forever. With business, I was doing this at 6 and I'm going to do this at 106. And I'm always curious if you get a little of that juice that, competing in the business world as you're launching Athleisure, as we get into the wine thing in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think for a lot of the people that's out here watching, for me, I never really thought I would play beyond the collegiate level. So obviously, I got recruited to UT Chattanooga on a scholarship, got a scholarship as a result of, but I never really thought I would play beyond the collegiate level. So things just kind of started to unfold for me as far as my football career is concerned. But to your question, when you talk about, what I was able to do and how I got to where I got to, there was a lot of grinding that had to take place. There's a lot of knowledge that I had to be receptive to, whether I liked it or I didn't like it. But it was all valuable information, whether it was good or bad.
Were you a film guy or no? Did you enjoy watching film?
Well, later on in my career, well, in
You
the
got
middle,
into
I think I started to watch a little bit more film because I'm one of those guys. I'm very intuitive. I like to see. I'm a visual person too. So when you talk about watching film, yes, but I like to be out there in the field. I like to see people demonstrate, kind of give me a blueprint of what I'm supposed to be doing. So I became a film guy to understand my opponent,
Yeah,
understand what
that's what I was
I.
curious.
Yeah, absolutely. All of
Like,
that
oh,
kind
this
of
corner, oh, this corner's, you know, a big time corner, but this is the one kind of route that he struggles with, or things of that nature.
right. And it's the same in business. You see what is working for someone else and what they do wrong, may not be as advantageous to you. So you kind of look at people's mistakes and you can kind of read about it, see it, this, that, and the other.
It's interesting. You mentioned this twice now. So it sounds like you learned a lot by watching other things from people, more so than countering what the corner was doing. Was there anyone in your career early on or even later that you really admired or you appreciated, whether watching them from afar or they were a teammate?
I would have to honestly say Jerry Rice, and obviously he was a teammate, and he's considered the greatest of all time. But again, when you talk about somebody that has done it at a high level and at a consistent level at that, those are people that you want to pattern yourself after. And it's people and there's people in the world too, a world of business, that you can kind of have a similar, I guess, path or what have
Mm-hmm.
you. If you're trying to again accomplish something, if you're trying to be entrepreneurial, and I mean, if you want to create like I said, a clothing line, a wine line, obviously if you want to do stocks and bonds, you want to do cryptocurrency,
Mm-hmm.
all those things, you kind of have people that are already in that space, and then you see who's successful, who's not successful.
100%. Talk to me about the wine thing. I'm so excited to hear it.
Yeah, it came it just came out of nowhere, kind of like my career, just came out of nowhere, and I honestly, like I said, if I can foresee or foreshadow this wine thing, and I can have it be somewhat eerily similar to my career, I stand to think that it's going to be very, very, very successful.
Good for
And
you.
I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it slow. I don't think I'm not in this to think that I know everything. I know that you're pretty much you're a connoisseur. You're a sommelier, if I can call you that. I know you're
Mm-hmm.
heavily into the wine. So yeah, you're someone that I would like to obviously pick their brain with and see how
That's done.
what you have going on. But
That's done. I'm happy to chop with you on that.
yeah, but this came
How did it
about.
come? Did somebody come to you and say, "Hey, do you want to
Yeah,
team up?"
organic situation here. Family friend of the Tommy Lasorda family. I have a marketing guy by the name of Max Lepselter, who's has Max Management, and so that interaction, that conversation came about. Obviously, they wanted to kind of expand the line. When I say they, I mean the Lasorda family wines. They wanted to kind of expand their line, and so I was on a list of, I guess, people that they possibly wanted to collaborate with. And so with that, that natural organic conversation with Max, he asked me, did I like wine, number one? And I was like, yeah, but I was more, I had tasted wine when
Natural.
yeah, playing in San Francisco, that's the backyard, what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Napa Valley. So my first experiences with wine, it didn't go very well because I'm from the South. I'm from the South, didn't really like wine. And now I'm on the West Coast in Napa Valley where wine is like a staple at the table. And so at my household, Kool-Aid and water and soda was the staple at the table. So my
Yep.
first experience going to an event, the waiter comes by, he goes red or white. I'm looking at my teammates and I'm like, what? I didn't know what to pick. He said, just try the red. So I tasted the red. I drank it. I sipped it. Dude, the
You hit.
nastiest taste ever.
Uh-huh.
It was dry. It was pasty, and that was the image and the taste that I had in my mind when he asked me did I like wine. But I've tried other wines before. So to make a long story short, um, they end up asking me, Max asked me about the wine. I told him what I was into. And he said, what do you think about reds? I told him my experience. And he said, this opportunity has come about. I said, through a very notable Los Angeles legend, Mr. Tommy Lasorda. So I'm like, all right, cool. I said, I couldn't pass this up. And so I said, okay, let me wrap my head around it. we came to a conclusion. I wanted to be involved. They accepted me. I talked with Janice Clark, who's sort of like the operations manager for the family wine business. And she basically told me, she said, you know, Tommy gave me the blessings for you to come on and be a partner in this. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I couldn't turn down that, because obviously if you don't know anything about baseball, if you don't know anything about Los Angeles Dodgers, then you don't know who he
One
is.
of the greatest of all time. It's so sad we recently lost him. Big
Right.
shout out to my friend Eitan Sugarman, who was like a son to him. I got to know
Right.
Tommy a little bit. So
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. So are you now in the rabbit hole of like learning more about wine, tasting wine? Like, because, you know, wine's one of those things that you can go from, for everybody that's watching, like, I'm drinking some right now. Like, it's the kind of thing that you might not care about at all. Then you go into that rabbit hole, and now you can become, like, people really get about that wine.
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed now, because now I go to different restaurants, I'm trying different things, and I can't get past, honestly, past the taste of my wine. It tastes so good compared to some of these other wines out there. But obviously, that's with me making these attempts to test, it's developing my palate for different types of wine. And so,
but Tio,
again,
do
I
you think
can't be
that's one of
thankful
those
and
things where,
grateful
you know,
enough
like,
for.
Tio,
Yeah,
but do you think that's one
I'm
of
here.
those things, like, you know, yeah, you're good. Do you think you loving your wine so much is one of those things, you know how like all parents think their kids are the cutest, but meanwhile they're not that cute? Like, do you think it could be that kind of?
No. I'm relying heavily on customer feedback. That's the best way that you're going to know anything about a product. I'm sure if, as obviously the Yelp reviews and things of that nature, I've gotten a lot of great feedback, even from some of my close friends that give it to me raw. They give it to me authentic. They're like, yo, I'm going to like that. I drink wine. I'm going to tell you if this is good or bad. And I'm probably batting 1,000, Gary. And I'm not just saying that. This wine is very, very good. And I say that because I had a great winemaker in Terry Colton, who also was a maker of Tommy Lasorda family wines, who does a lot of stuff at the Lavinier winery up in Paso Robles. He's been very instrumental into putting all the tasting notes, the feedback that I gave him, putting those tasting notes to the test. With my wine, it's a ripe black cherry with some cinnamon stick aromas. And then, like I said, I
Look
wanted
at
to
you,
be
Tio.
yeah, but I wanted to be on the sweeter, on some of the sweeter side, relatively speaking, as it pertains to wine, especially a Cabernet Sauvignon, because the characteristics of your red wines is it's big, it's bold, and it's dry. So I wanted to eliminate the dry part, which is obviously tannin. That's a description, tannin. So when you talk about adding a little bit of the sweet element to it, we added plum preserves, some dark chocolate, and a spicy toasted oak. And the oak toast, the oak taste is obviously is part of the barreling. Being barreled.
And for everybody who's watching, when you have new French oak or oak in general, it leads to that vanilla kind of flavor that you can pick up on the nuances of Cabernet. Tio, man, I'm proud of you. You're chopping wine terms now.
Well, you know, like I said, I can't be into this space and not be somewhat knowledgeable. And as I said, when I explain it, or I'm talking to you and your viewers or what have you, I don't claim to be a connoisseur or somebody.
You're going through your journey. Right now, there's a big thing. I'll hit you up about this. There's a thing called NFTs, right, in the crypto space, in the blockchain space. And I keep telling my friends, I'm like, you're just going through your journey. You got to learn. Same thing. Let me get is this 85bin.com the one? Is that the website?
My website is 81vino.com. 81vino. He made a typo. Ben, yeah, hey, Ben, you made a typo in there. So I'm talking to Ben. It's 81vino.
Ben, do not upset T.O. He will dunk on you. This man will dunk on you, Ben. T.O.,
yeah.
I'm really, really proud of you, bro. I'm really excited about your project. I need to get a bottle, have your people set up some more time. I'll talk to you through the wine stuff. And I'm glad we were able to connect a little bit. Just want to send you a lot of love, and I can't wait to see you.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it a lot, man. So, yeah, let's make some things happen. We definitely, like I said, I'm holding you to this. There's been 2,000 to 3,000 people that saw you and they heard you. We got to do something in Chattanooga, bro, for sure.
By the way, that's a wrap. I'm serious.
All right.
I would really like to do that. We'll talk soon.
Evan, thank you so much for having a couple seconds and being able to tell the Believe Nation a little bit about Empathy Wines. It means a lot to me that you would take this valuable real estate and time on your channel to give me some love. It means a lot. It's just good karma points, and so you're awesome. Thank you. Believe Nation, if you're into wine at all, go to empathywines.com. My whole career's work was poured into producing a wine that rivaled $40 to $60 wine for 20 bucks a bottle. I'm just super excited about this subscription-based wine business. You can order 3, 6, or 12 bottles in subscription form, rosé, white, red. If you search on Instagram or Twitter, you will be blown away. People are literally like, I don't even like Gary Vee, but the wine's good. Super proud of the effort. Thanks, Evan, for the time. Wishing you guys all happy and healthy.
If you want to learn how to market on social media like Gary Vee, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.